So, Ms. Norwood, many people believe that TV violence can have a negative effect on children's behavior. Do you believe TV violence affects children's behavior? Why or why not?
I believe in some instances it does when they're really young, like in elementary and middle school when they're still trying to develop their character and what's right and what's wrong. I believe by the time they're in high school they should know a difference. For example, also with the video games. You know if you're watching something on TV with the shoot, like my son is 3, he'll be 4. Certain cartoons I won't let him watch because it's too violent. And as far as buying him little toy guns, I don't do that because I feel like it perpetuates violence, and he's not old enough to understand that, and so right now me and his dad, we're teaching him the difference between right and wrong. So I think that was my walkie. I think it does have an impact on him.
Okay, question number 2. Should parents let their children watch shows with violence in them? Why or why not?
No, I believe that they shouldn't, because as I stated before, when you're young, you can't see what's right or wrong. For example, a young man, I think it was in California, shot his sister, playing with a gun, thinking it's just something that he was doing, and he killed his sister. So he's, going to court right now. And although he's 12, you think that he would know better. Obviously, along the way, he was never taught that, what you see on TV can really, it's just TV. It's not, real life. And now his sister is gone. I think he's going to have to live the rest of his life with that, because just playing around with the gun and now his sister's dead. We actually had a student here last year, before I came. Her brother was playing with a gun, and a lot of the kids know her. And it's funny, my niece goes here, and on her Facebook page yesterday it said, "Rest in peace." I think her name is Khadijah, because her brother was,
I've heard of her.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that that's what happened, with the gun, but obviously, I don't like guns. And I knew at an early age that, it's not a toy. And some kids, they don't know the difference at a young age. And then, they don't know the difference at a young age. And they, when they get older, it's just that that's all they see and they become immune to it.
Okay. Question number 3. If parents allow their child to watch shows with violence, would you consider that as bad parenting? Why or why not?
I think that most parents want the best for their kids. I don't think that would be bad parenting. I think it's bad choices that the parents are making. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, parents come home from work, they're tired from working, 8 hours a day. They're trying to feed the kids, cook, clean, and do whatever. And I think they just don't even realize sometimes that their kids are going into the room, or just actually sometimes just on their computers, or even just sitting at the television while they're in the other room cooking. They don't realize what they're watching. And growing up, I'm 43. We saw violent stuff, but we didn't feed into it like I think this generation, does. So I don't think it's a bad parent. I think it's sometimes you just have to be more involved in what your kids are watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 4. Would you ever allow your child to watch shows with violence?
No, not, like I said, not now. And a lot of, you have the televisions now, they have this thing where you can actually
block it,
yeah. I did paper on that, I think, like 10 years ago. And I know it's kind of difficult because what happens is if they have an iPhone, they can watch stuff on their iPhone. They can come to school, they can go watch it on their computers. I don't want my son to be so naive that he doesn't know the difference, because I want him to kind of be like me. I was always kind of smart. I always like going to school, but I kind of got some hood in me too. Because when you're in the hood, you don't want to be, oh my God, what's going on? Have somebody just, jump on you. But then, when you're in school, you have to know how to turn it on and turn it off. So I don't want him to be so immune to what's really going on in the real world. But I think it's an age, and it has to be appropriate. Like he likes Spider-Man. And some of the Spider-Man shows, I don't let him watch that's really violent, but the other ones that's kind of like more of his age, I let him watch that. So I have to really pick and choose what he watched.
Like Family Guy. My uncle don't let my niece watch that. He would not let her sit there watch that.
But I was watching it one night and my son woke up and he was like, "Mom, you gotta turn the channel," because that's just so inappropriate. Some adults shouldn't be watching the Family Guy. It's funny to me, but kids see it as a cartoon. And they think that, that it's, they can watch it.
Yeah, that's my niece. My cousin kept saying, cartoon, cartoon. I was like, no.
I know. He gets a lot of flack for that too. But honestly, it's funny. It's funny to me. But yeah, just being a parent, you really have to stay abreast of what your kids are really watching. And it's really hard, you know, because, you know, I'm a mom, and although my husband, you know, we're married, we're both there, it's kind of hard for us to know everything that he's doing because you never know. It's like when parents come to the school, my daughter would never do about, ma'am, you don't know how your daughter acts when she gets here. Now at home, she may be totally different, but when she gets here, that peer pressure sets in, so you can't really say, you know. So I'm just hoping that he makes the right decisions, and I'm trying to instill that in him now, that what's good to watch and what's bad to watch, because I can't let the TV be his babysitter. And that's what I think a lot of, you know, is going on. And actually, it's a lot of violent stuff.
There is. Mm-hmm. Do you believe watching violent shows as a child can affect how you are as an adult?
Yes, I do. I do. Sometimes, I'll give you an example. Research has shown that kids who...
Good afternoon. Please excuse this interruption. I need the students for Ms. Kaplan and Ms. Turner's health classes to report to the King Center at this time. Those students that are Ms. Kaplan's and Ms. Turner's health class report at this time to the King Center.
Yes, research has shown that kids who hurt animals early on when they're young start hurting people. And it's also starting to show that kids who watch violent shows at a young age over and over again, they start becoming more and more violent too. So I do believe a little bit.
Yeah, when I looked it up, it says some kids, like when they watch the shows, they become more, they use violence to solve every problem for themselves in school. And then they say they become numb to pain, like they don't immune to pain and stuff.
Because they don't think anything's wrong with it. It's like when the Twin Towers, I was at work when the planes hit the Twin Towers, and I saw the first one, I just thought it was a commercial or something like that. And then you hear all the news people, and I was typing at work, and I turned around and said, oh, you know, the other plane is about to hit the tower. And it just freaked me out. And parents started calling the school and coming up to the school. They showed that thing all day, you know, and I'm like, why do they keep showing this? It just really was doing something to my spirit. So you can imagine if, you know, me being an adult seeing that, what it's doing to a kid. My son, who's 3 years old, constantly seeing violent stuff, he's not going to realize that the gun, that the knife that he may have that he thinks is playing with is really real, because that's all he sees. So I think it does have something, and that's why parents have to be there and be involved. But on the flip side, as a parent, you can't be there every 5 minutes, you know? So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Okay, do you think children who watch violence on television will show violent behavior and cause problems for others?
Yes and no. Some kids, like I said, when you catch them young and you teach them right from wrong, they won't be violent. But then other kids, you can teach them right from wrong and they'll still do some stuff, you know. So, again, it's like a, you know.
Maybe situation.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's it? Oh, thank you.